And now, it's Boomer Life. Lifestyle discussion designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete. Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is Boomer Life on CIL 650.
A little Dreamweaver music from Gary Wright to start off this episode of Boomer Life here on CIL 650. Good morning, Sterling Fox with you. And talking dreams, well, we're talking about sleep and your health and, well, getting a good night's sleep. That's the kind that produces fun dreams. Sterling Fox with Dave Temlett and Terry Harder from Innovative Sleep Solutions in studio. Dave and Terry, welcome back, guys.
Morning, Sterling. Nice to be here.
Nice to be here. Thanks, Sterling.
Terry, you were at the representing the company at the home show in Coquitlam just a couple of weeks ago. How did that go?
Great weekend, Sterling. It really shows our growth. People are really coming to the booth, knowing about our business already. They've seen our ads. They've heard our radio show that we do once a month. They've seen the hockey game, so we're really starting to hit in the different media. So it's exciting when people come up and they've already heard about you and they say our name and
which one are you?
And
right,
so
right.
Yeah, so it's encouraging. We're really growing our business. It's exciting times for us, and we're going to be going in another home show in another 2 weeks at 7551 Minaroo Boulevard in Richmond, the Richmond home show as well.
Okay.
So May
right.
1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Well, and Dave, when you go to these home show scenarios and people come up to you, and I know that Terry was at the last one, but you take your turns when you go and represent the company at these shows. What do people want to know? When people come up now, especially as Terry was saying, now that they know the brand name, they know a little bit about you, and they know that you are the sleep solution expert. So they get, and there's a sort of some kind of familiarity because they listen to you on the radio. So when they stroll up to the booth and start talking, what do they ask you about? What do people want to talk about?
Well, they love the Cabeza, the cabinet bed that pulls out into a bed. The name Cabeza has been trademarked by us, and we've spent a fair amount of money advertising it, and it really is the nicest looking product in the marketplace and best price points. And then they go on and they want to know about the magnet therapy because they've heard a lot on the radio about the magnet therapy products.
Right.
And so, yeah, we'd like to engage in a conversation explaining the benefits and what they are, and a lot of people are just blown away. It's just been an unbelievable growth the past year for us. Our business has increased so much, and it's unbelievable. Terry and I are just beside ourselves with the success.
Well, you know, one of the themes that we've been developing, at least on the radio here on Boomer Life, is invest in your rest.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess for that calls for a bit of a mindset change for a lot of people, Terry, because a lot of people go, oh, we got time to get a new mattress, time to get it, we have to do something for the guest room. Well, let's go out and find something cheap. And, you're always shopping for good prices. Nothing wrong with being price conscious. But, the pitfall is settling for something that is too cheap and doing yourself a disservice in the process.
Absolutely, I agree, Sterling, although we always want to temper that with the fact that we carry all different price points, because let's face it, some of us are in a situation that's what we need to buy, and so we have those mattresses, but we like to, as you said, encourage people to look at it as an investment in your health and your quality of life. Let's face it, we all know that if we have a better night's sleep, we're generally speaking happier the next day. I think anybody that has had a good sleep is more likely to be more positive about their day. So sleep has lots of benefits, as we talk about on the show, Sterling.
Absolutely. And Dave, when we're talking about a good night's sleep and good health, well then, that makes it a little easier to wrap your mind around the concept of invest in your rest.
Oh, absolutely. That's a big thing. We try to keep a customer in a realistic budget range that they're comfortable with. But some people will understandably want to know why they should spend a little bit more money.
Sure.
And so, engaging in that conversation and explaining the pros and cons of both the lower price and the higher price mattress. And I mean, let's face it, it's not rocket science. It doesn't take a genius to understand that if you have the luxury of affording a little bit better product, putting a little more money into a product, you will will get a better return on your investment. And that's what you have to look at a mattress as, is seriously as an investment in your sleep, an investment in your health. A lot of people will go out and spend $50,000-$60,000 on a nice luxury vehicle or an SUV.
Right.
But
and not even bat an eye about it.
Well,
either.
That's right, and you know, they can park it in the driveway so the Joneses can see what they're driving, and they have that image that they're, you know, that they've got a really nice vehicle and so forth. But people, you know, you don't see a mattress, so some people just don't understand the correlation of how important it is, and to, you know, get a decent product, rather than a $6.99 mattress that is always advertised at the national stores.
Right.
So.
And well, I suppose, though, you know, and you've had examples of this, and I like it when you tell the stories, too. You've had people come to you who come into the store on King George Boulevard in South Surrey and say, look, you know, we went out, we bought a mattress. And it wasn't the most expensive mattress in the world. It wasn't the cheapest, but you know, it wasn't one of the better ones. And so we settled, we compromised, we bought this. You know, we've had it for less than a year, and it just isn't cutting the mustard. We've got to get rid of it. So what can you do for us? That kind of thing. That happens all the time in the store.
Yeah, a couple of times a week for sure, if not more. And you know, it's very common that somebody will buy a bed, and within you know, even the first couple of years, it's starting to show you know, a fair amount of body impression, and then you know, the manufacturers are contacted and they come out and they look at it and say, oh no, that's normal wear and tear, it's gonna compress over time.
Right.
So then these poor folks are sleeping on a divot, you know, very uncomfortable. They're sleeping in a valley on their brand new mattress, or
like
their 2 or 3 year old
mattress. Like a furrow
mattress
in the fields, right?
Exactly.
It's a little V, and that's your spot.
So yeah, and if you try to roll over, you got to roll up a hill, which is going to take a lot more energy, preventing you from falling into your delta sleep or your
REM sleep.
REM sleep. So, you know, at the end of the day, we recommend people stay away from the big, thick pillow tops, although a lot of people really like them. So we do have a few of them. But if you walk through our stores, you did just a few days ago.
I was there just a couple of days ago, yeah.
Then you'll see, as I'm sure you did, that most of the products we carry are not the big, thick pillow tops.
Right.
Because they do have a historical problem with the body impressions, that they do compress and have indentations in them, and that's not a defect in the material. That's what's going to happen with the padding on the top of it. It's going to compress.
Right. Okay. We had a visit from one of my coworkers, Terry, a month or so ago. Todd came in and jumped in on the show and talked about how he and his wife Christine were looking for a new bed, and they finally settled on one from the store. Well, they finally got it delivered, and I was talking to Todd in the coffee room, and he was saying they bought one of those organic latex beds, a queen size, and he said, love it. And the best part about it is, you know, and I love her to pieces, but, you know, in the middle of the night, my wife sometimes, well, thrashes around and rolls around, and he says, I don't feel it anymore. On the old bed, you know, every move she made just rippled right through the whole bed. He says, now she has her side, I have mine, and, you know, it's very, very different and 1,000% better.
Absolutely, Sterling. That's what they said, that they notice and enjoy less movement. And we talk about that in our store with customers, that some people have different schedules, and we ask those questions. Do you generally go to bed a little later than your husband?
Right, right.
Do you just want to generally wake up a little earlier than the other person? Because that's part of the benefit of beds like organic latex mattresses, is the fact that you don't feel your partner coming to bed at night, nor waking up early in the morning. So consequently, you're less likely to be woken up, and so hence you get a better quality sleep. And Todd and Christine are enjoying the benefits of that last night, and they'll enjoy it tonight as well.
Well, you know, and I think, Dave, too, it comes down to, you know, with the sort of invest in your rest mindset, it really does come down, and it doesn't matter what the product is, you really do get what you pay for it, don't you?
Absolutely. You sure do. Well said.
You know, it is. I mean, if you want the bare bones, bottom of the line product, and it doesn't matter whether we're talking mattresses or automobiles here, well, you know in advance pretty much what you're going to get. Whereas if you were prepared to shell out a little bit more, and it doesn't have to be the top of the line necessarily, but you just find the price point in your range that's practical for you that isn't necessarily the bottom of the pile.
Well, and the thing is, it's for one thing, it's very intimidating for most customers when they walk into a mattress store because they really have no idea of what they need or what they should be looking at,
right,
or what it's going to cost. So hypothetically speaking, you can show two products. You can show a $3,000 mattress and you can show a $600 mattress that looks the same. Well, that $600 mattress naturally is not going to have anywhere near the support factor or the life expectancy compared to the $3,000 mattress.
Right.
Now, and I'm certainly not suggesting somebody go out and spend $3,000 if it's beyond your means. That's not practical. But if you have the luxury of putting a little bit more in, instead of spending maybe $600 or $700, maybe spend $1,200. Perhaps. There's different ways that you can look at doing this to allow yourself to get into a better supporting product that is really going to take the pressure off pressure point areas and keeping your spine in the correct, orthopedically correct positions.
Right.
And to go with a very basic quality mattress, it's kind of a detrimental effect to your health by doing that.
I wanted to ask you too, and as long as we're talking about prices and budgeting and all the rest of it, and you alluded to this already earlier, Dave, in terms of warranties, for example, and wear and tear and that sort of thing.
Right.
Again, this is something that, in terms of sleep products, not many of us understand. You were saying that a mattress store, a sleep store, can be a pretty intimidating place only because we don't know much about the product, and that extends to warranties too, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, the drawback with the warranties is that it's a real misconception and it's not very credible from a manufacturing standpoint. When a factory will put a 20 or 25-year warranty on a mattress that you're paying $699 for, it has nothing to do with the expected lifespan of that mattress. The warranty covers manufacturing defects. So a manufacturing defect is unlikely to occur. It's less than 2% in the industry, so at any price point. So if you're looking at a lower price bed with a 25-year warranty, you can be sure that that 25-year warranty is going to be long lasting after the mattress has already been recycled.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does, actually.
Yeah.
And Terry, how then? And again, this is the education component to our visits on the radio when you people come in, because you teach us about good questions to ask when we go shopping for sleep products and mattresses and box springs and all that kind of stuff. And so help us to understand the right questions to ask about warranties, Terry.
Well, more importantly on the warranties, Sterling, is the fact that we encourage customers to ask the question, how long is this bed going to last me?
Right.
Because that's what's the most important part of the purchase.
Warranty notwithstanding, really, how long is this thing going to last?
And I mean, at times we get quite honest with people. I'll say, like myself, you're a big bone person. And I'd rather downplay the longevity and have it that the bed lasts longer than I say.
Right.
Than overplay the longevity.
And if that salesperson responds saying, well, it's got a 25-year warranty, then I would recommend you turn around and you walk out of that establishment.
Right, because the question was, how long is this bed going to last? Excluding any warranty concerns.
Right.
The first question, it's a fair question. How long should this bed last?
Absolutely.
And if the response is, well, it has a 25-year warranty, Dave suggests exit.
You're in the wrong
immediately.
store. Yeah.
Right.
They're selling on the warranty. They're not selling on the product, on its capability.
Okay, so let's break the question down then, because first of all, my original question, Terry, to you was about warranties and what's a good warranty these days. But even more fundamentally, what's a good lifespan, anticipated lifespan for a mattress these days? You ask, well, how long should this bed last? What should a good response be?
Well, a lot of mattresses, I mean, generally speaking, good quality pocket coil beds. Unless you go up to what we carry, which potentially is the Beauty Rest Black Series, then I would say longer. But 6 to 8 years is a very realistic expectation, Sterling. Okay. And that's why we sometimes break it down. While you have an organic latex mattress like Todd and Christine purchased, and you spent $2,300 potentially on the mattress. But if that mattress lasted you 20 years, and then you invested $600 in a mattress and it only lasted you 6 years, what actually cost you more over that 6 years? The $2,300 mattress is going to last 20 years?
Right.
or the $600 mattress is going to last only 6 years, and you're not going to get near the same quality of sleep on that $600 mattress, but you've actually spent more. So do you want to spend money or do you want to invest your money? That's the question.
All right.
That you need to ask.
Okay, fair enough. And we'll come back to warranties. We need to take a break here, but we'll come back and finish off this thought about warranties. But you're absolutely right, Terry. Before you even question warranties and because Dave has said on this program in the past, most warranties really aren't worth the paper they're written on. But, you know, there are some quality manufacturers who will back up their products with good warranties or legitimate warranties, and we'll ask about those. But even more fundamentally, the first question and the smart question to ask is, how long will this bed last?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Our guests, Terry Harder and Dave Temlett, from from Innovative Sleep Solutions in South Surrey, White Rock at 3033 King George Boulevard and online at innovativesleep.ca. This is Boomer Life on CIL 650, and we're back with lots more after this.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CIL 650.